For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. It's Proverbs 4:17. I saw a story today that just, it's like a double whammy. It's summing up two major agendas going on in the world right now to just completely throw in the face of everybody who's paying attention how wicked and perverse this world is. It was a drag queen story hour from a Jewish professor at a college, I think in Arizona, who has been on Saturday Night Live before. So they have used him, put him on a pedestal before. Clearly he's in the club, so to speak. A drag queen singing nursery rhymes, replacing the words with, if you're a drag queen and you know it and you really want to show it, free Palestine. These are two wicked agendas being put together. In the beginning, God created male and female in his image. Now we've gone from 2 sexes to 4 to 10 to 20 to 50 to 100. And who knows where it's going to go from here. But it's just not rooted in truth. And I'm not here to mock or demean anybody who believes that those things are true and were part of God's plan for us. There is reasons for the reason we're deceived and believe these things, but they weren't part of God's plan. There's been a lot of manipulation on many different levels. But then to also be breeding hate towards the Jewish people in Israel, when it's really the Zionist takeover who are using Israel as a pawn, as a political chess piece, to take control of the Holy Land. And this land was promised to Israel. It was promised to the Jews. There's a lot of Torah-abiding Jews living in Israel who have no hate for their Palestinian brothers. I don't know if they call them that, but they've been able to live in peace with Palestinians, with other religions, with Christians, side by side for many years. But it's the political agendas, the globalization agendas behind all of that that is used in Israel as this centerpiece to trigger anti-Semitism, to trigger all forms of hate in so many different ways, and what could start off a global war, because obviously U.S. is allies with Israel, even though they've hinted that they could pull that back. But when you realize that the instruments of power controlling this country, the U.S., are the same instruments of power controlling Israel, and there's innocent Jews, Muslims, Christians, all sorts of different religious beliefs within that system of organized chaos. But when we allow these constructs and these agendas being pushed through the media and everything else to make us hate one another, to make us hate our Jewish brothers, to make us hate our Muslim brothers or our Christian brothers, we've missed the point of God, of his message for us. We're to love even our enemies. I talk about this all the time. But if you're believing anything, if any kind of anti-Israel sentiment is being drawn up in you, that's from the enemy. That's from the God of this world, stirring the pot, bringing strife and anger and animosity and division. Everything is sowing seeds of division. Right now, this is a perversion. It's an attack on God's creation, male and female, and you're combining the two. Drag queens promoting Palestine. If a drag queen were to go into Palestine, they would get probably beheaded and dragged through the streets. They don't have any tolerance for that type of stuff in that part of the world. And so it doesn't even make sense that they would be supporting it, but there's otherworldly influences and forces behind these agendas coalescing, coming together, because I guess it just makes a good recipe for organized chaos. But be very careful when you get behind these movements, because there is so much evil and wickedness in it. And do not be a part of the wicked. The wicked will be judged. Did you stick up for those who were being judged and hated upon, even though you didn't agree with them when push comes to shove? That's what you'll be judged on. That's what Jesus did for everyone. He died for everyone, even though they were still caught up in sin, rejecting him. We have until our last breath to receive that grace that was shown on the cross. I pray this finds you well. God bless you. See you tomorrow.